Sandra here from Create in Spain and Siser Juliet Beginners to Pro. Now this one is for those of you who have a Juliet or a Romeo. Although other cutting machines will behave in very similar ways, this is specifically for those machines. So a lot of people are new to the machines and they are struggling with print and cut, particularly if they've come from the world of Cricut or rather scan and cuts. And for those who are not particularly keen on the Leonardo software, there is an alternative and it is called Shortcut Slot. Version 6 is the one that you need. It's a one-off purchase. Here is the version that I've got, which is PNG. Here is Shortcut Slot 6. And what I'm going to do is to use the SVG import to import my PNG. So here it is, and open. There we go. And I would probably prefer that to be a little bit smaller because it's quite large. So I'll put it down to about 20. Actually, I think I might put it down to a bit less than that. Okay. Now, if I move this, you can see that it already has cut lines. This is already a print and cut. Now, what you can do is you can look at the preview, and this is much underused and very important to know about because it shows you the cut lines and the printable. If I switch off the printable here, you can see the cut lines. If I put the printable back on and switch that off, then you see the printable and not the cut lines. But it's a good safety net. It allows you to see what is going to print and what is going to cut. Quite important. Okay, so I'm done there. Now with this particular design, I would do a copy and a paste in place, and then I would move it down here to give me more of them. Now I would flip this, and I did this one earlier. I've been having fun and games with my printer this morning. I did it earlier and I flipped it, and I forgot, of course, that one or two of these have actually got words on, in which case don't flip it because they come out backwards. So probably not a great idea to flip. But depending on your image, if you flip it, you can have a back print and a front print for two different items if you need it. Today, I am actually just doing a sticker sheet. And when I said I had problems with my printer, I had problems with my printer. Basically, one reason, I have some sticker sheets and I don't know why. They have a strip which is cut on one side about 5mm. And I think what's happening is that strip is coming up when it's going through my printer and it was jamming things up. So assuming that you are happy with your design, you don't have to have the cut lines exactly where they are. If you go down to your grouping here, you can see you've got a cut and you have a print. And if you select just the cut, you can go up to path, you can go to offset path, and you can choose an offset for those lines. Now, putting an offset on removes the original cut line and puts a new one on. For exaggeration purposes, I can make that bigger. I wouldn't do that because of this, obviously. But that's just to show you that it does it. Takes one line off and puts the offset on. I'm going to cancel it because I'm not particularly interested. The other thing that you can do if you need to with the cut is go up to path and then simplify. And sometimes this is a very good idea. I've got mine whacked up right to the maximum. You can put it down lower if you want to. In some cases, it will alter the shape slightly, in which case, yeah, you've got to be a bit careful. But in a lot of cases, you can get away with it and you really won't have any problems whatsoever, particularly if you've already put an offset on. So the reason you might want to do this is simply so that the fewer nodes you have, the smoother your cut is going to be. It makes it faster, it makes it cleaner, and it's a good idea to check. 619 is a fair number. If I could get it down to 247, yeah, would I? Yeah, I probably would. Okay, so you can do that if you want to. This is what I ended up actually doing. And I did have a very slight offset on here. I think it was 1mm or something. Not a great deal, but just a slight one. So when you come up to your cutter, you have settings up here for the Juliet. Go into the settings and check your registration marks. You can alter them, it's up to you where you put your registration marks. Just make sure that they fit within the print margins. So over here, you can check show print margins. It won't do it at the moment because I've got this open, but you can choose to show print margins. And I've got mine set so that they are offset around the design rather than offset from the page or offset from the print margins. So that's where you alter your registration mark. So I've got mine by 2mm, which is pretty close. Okay, so I would click OK. So that's fine. Now, when you do a print and cut, you do not just automatically cut it from this page. You need to go down here to the print and cut. And this opens your print and cut window. I would print my design off if I'm happy with it. Make sure it is up the correct way. Put it on your mat. And the instructions are pretty clear here. Position the carriage so that it is over the first printed registration mark at the bottom left of the design. So your blade wants to go down here, just about inside that left registration mark. Get it as close as you can to the inside. It doesn't have to be directly over it, it'll find it. And then you can go to Start Scan. Now the important thing is to use this box to send your information to the machine. Don't press the buttons on the machine. There is no need to. Do it all from your laptop or your desktop and it will start scanning, and once it is scanned it will cut without any further instruction from you. Okay. Now what I haven't mentioned is that if you want to, you can, for example, take the cut lines and you can add, sorry, my voice is going. Under the effects menu, you can add a shadow layer. So you could have another one, I just want the outline. I'll change that colour to red so that you can actually see it. Okay. And we have another cut line there. So this is another layer, and you can set that layer to a different speed or pressure or whatever else it is that you want to set it to by setting it as a score line, and that way you've got a different setting to your normal cut. So you can have a cut, you can have a score, you can have a draw. It makes relatively little difference, but I would go for scoring rather than drawing. Pen assumes that there is no angle, for example, to your blade, whereas if you have a cut line or a score line, it takes that into consideration. There is a little offset there. So you can add 2 or more, whatever number of lines you wish. That is entirely your choice. And you are responsible for setting them to whatever pressure you want them to be. I've got a force of 6 for my cut lines, but a score force can be set separately. And then it gets sent to the cutter all in one go. You don't have to worry about it. So you can do that. So I'm at my Juliet, and you can see that my blade is set over the bottom left registration mark. And I do that simply by moving the carriage with the arrows like that. So just put it back to where it was. And one more click. That should probably do it. And do I need to make it go forward just a bit? Oops, wrong way. Yeah, there we go. So do not press this button here. You want to cut it from the laptop or desktop, whatever it is you're using. Don't use the other buttons on here. Just use your software to send it, because that's how it works. Now I'm going to have to pull my machine forward very slightly because it's against a wall. The mat is actually scraping the wall, so I'll pull it forward slightly. But now I'm just going to go back to my laptop and press send. So this is my sticker paper and it has been cut with a force of 6. Remember to wind the blade in till it's almost invisible to do things like sticker paper or very thin paper or indeed vinyl cutting. So I did put some masking tape on the edges for the simple reason my mat isn't overly sticky now, it needs cleaning, and I didn't want it to shift. And the only thing I would say, when you're putting a print and cut on the mat, don't put your tape up near your registration marks because that can confuse it. Okay, so there we have it. Get a picky tool here, and this is the strip that I mentioned online, and I don't know why it is there. In fact, that one hasn't actually cut all the way through, but this was how the paper was actually packaged and sent, with a score line, which on most of them I found has actually been deep enough to cut. This one hasn't, oddly enough, but that was machined by the manufacturers and not me. So if I take a corner of this and pull it up, you can see that I have got sticky, my perfectly cut heart stickers. I've done it on the wrong way. I can't believe this. I've done it on the wrong side. God, I must be brain dead at the moment because these are not going to be sticky. No, they're not. Oh dear, I am an idiot sometimes. Just to show it happens to all of us. I am a complete numpty. I put the paper in the wrong way and I printed it on the wrong side. Anyway, you can still see that it works. Sandy's going to have a great laugh when she sees this. Okay, so that is how you do the print and cut, or in my case, how not to do the print and cut if you want stickers. I just cannot believe that I did that. It's obviously one of those days because nothing has gone right this morning, absolutely nothing. But I'm happy enough with the printing and the cutting. That's exactly as it should be. Remember, I did have an offset on these so it doesn't cut exactly around the outside edges. But they're fine, they're perfectly right. Except for the fact I'm going to have to glue them onto whatever I want to put them on. I hope you can have a good laugh out of this. You might as well. Hope it might brighten your day. Not everything goes right when it's on camera, believe me. I've probably got more outtakes this morning than I have actual video. Oh dear, dear. Anyway, the other thing I am going to show you is how, if you happen to have an iPad and an Apple Pencil, how you can manipulate your images in Procreate. And if you've got images which are too close together, for example, for you to put an offset on, or you want some of them, you don't want all of them, how to take images out, how to adjust them without any hassle at all. It's so easy to do. So for those of you who have an iPad and an Apple Pencil, if you do not have Procreate and you do this kind of thing, get Procreate. It's worth it. It'll make your life so much simpler. And one of the reasons that I like it so much, as averse to something like Canva, is that I do not have to be online to use it. It is on my iPad, it is an app, and then I can just whiz things through to my laptop or whatever and use them. I think I might do these again because they're quite pretty, but what I might do in fact is use, if I can find the original image, use the original image that had a background to show you how to prep stickers for use. And yeah, if I can find the same one, that'd be good because I quite like it. I think it's quite nice. But I want to get rid of things like this, which are on the edges and probably won't be too much use as a sticker. So there we go. That's it for today. As I said, I hope you've had a good laugh at my expense. I don't mind, honestly. I just cannot believe I did that. And I will see you again soon. Take care now.